Welcome to Late Night Gaming. My name is Rachel, and today we will be continuing Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc. In the last episode, we discovered, or we didn't really discover, but Monokuma revealed that Sakura has been the spy the whole time and caused some hostility between Hina and Byakuya. So, don't know what's gonna happen next, but yeah. We are now doing free time. And I'm not quite sure where everyone is. Should we go talk to Sakura? Do we have anything that she likes? Hi, Sakura.
I'm sorry.
Oh. Yeah.
I see.
Even if I don't feel like talking, you'll still stand by me. I still don't understand you, Makoto. Without saying a word, I stood by Sakura. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see, where did it go? You really want to give me something so splendid? You know, I'm not quite sure why, but somehow you remind me of him.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, forget I said that. I'm just talking to myself. Anyway, I feel a little better now. Thank you. Seeing Sakura so pleased with something I gave her makes me happy. Yeah. I have plenty of time. I don't feel like just sitting here. I should go somewhere. Alright, where's Hina this time? I do want to go spend time with her. Oh, but how many times do you have to talk to someone for their report card to be filled in?
Sorry.
Listen, I'm really sorry, but I kind of want to be alone right now. I've got a lot I need to think about.
I'm sorry.
I appreciate the thought, but I'd like to be alone right now. I need time to myself. I need to think. Although that's one skill I haven't developed too much. Okay. They don't want to talk to me. I won't take that personally. She probably won't talk to us. Well, fuck it. Let's go talk to him again. Hello. Sakura and Hina. Finally, some action. Things are starting to become interesting.
What do you want?
Huh? Oh, I didn't see you standing there. Did you need something? Yeah.
That's fine.
Fine. Oh, whatever. He repeats the same thing. Do I have another gift for him? I don't know. So we gave him the coffee. Oh, I do have a golden gun.
I see.
Wait, does he not like that? Now this is a rare moment. Coming from a noble family, I've never been exposed to such vulgarity. Interesting. I think I'll keep it. Oh, so he did like it. Listen, Makoto, I wanted to ask you something. What could Byakuya want to talk to me about? I have a bad feeling about this. Oh, sure, what's up? You know, only a chosen few, perhaps 1% of us, are able to succeed in life.
So in other words...
For the other 99%, their dreams never come true. Some never even have a dream in the first place. Spending every waking hour toiling to scrap together a meager living, just barely getting by.
What?
I just don't understand. Is there any meaning to a life like that? Why are you asking me? Because you're part of the 99%, of course. Why did you even feel the need to ask? I knew he was gonna insult me somehow. Up until now, I've never been around anyone like that, so I'm interested. So tell me, how does it feel to live a life without hope, without potential or ambition or dreams? Come on! I don't have ambition or dreams. I've never felt that way about myself. I mean, sure, maybe I'll never be as rich as you or anything, but do you have to go around saying that to everyone? Can you only be happy by being better than others? Your complaints are as old and tired as a third-rate pop song from any generation. And yet, those are the words of the 99%. That is how you find comfort in your tiny, cold little world. Stop saying stuff like that. Sorry, I can't not speak the truth. No matter how much you push and struggle, people like you will never be in a position to change the world. You could all disappear tomorrow and nothing would change. Your existence is of no consequence. Whether that's true or not, it doesn't matter. Even if you live a totally normal, unimportant life, you can still find happiness in that. If I can live a life that I'm satisfied with, that's all that matters. If I spend all my time comparing my life to other people's, I'd never be happy. Sure, maybe you can do that. You were guaranteed success from the day we were born, so...
What?
Hold it. From the day I was born? You have no idea. You don't have a clue what you're talking about. What?
What?
Those who are chosen from birth have no concept of what that truly means. I have gone to battle and emerged victorious. That is why I am the chosen. Well, what are you talking about? You're spoiled, all of you, running away into a world of self-indulgence. Battle, competition, rivalry, you run away from it all. That is why the 99% walk the path that they do.
Such ignorance.
Good God, your absolute lack of understanding makes me want to weep. After showing a surprising amount of emotion, Byakuya quickly made his exit. What the heck got into him? He was acting totally normal up until I said something about being guaranteed success from the day he was born. I wonder why that set him off. He reminds me a little bit of Kiyoya Otari from Ouran High School Host Club. If he has older siblings that are guaranteed a better life than he is and he has to fight for his position, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
This is a school announcement. It is not as
Blah,
such.
blah,
Soon the
blah,
doors to
blah,
the
blah,
dining
blah,
hall.
blah. Shut up, Monokuma! Tonight feels somehow uneasy. We still haven't settled things with Sakura. Everyone's in a terrible mood. I just hope nothing happens tonight. After I declined the offer to become a shrimp, the tech support lady just refused to drop the issue. Once the shrimp idea was dead, she came back suggesting I could become a crab instead. How much can one person love crustaceans? I said no, of course, and she shot back. Okay, then how about to make you extra special, you can be a crab that walks sideways and backwards. But how's that any better? I don't want to go sideways or backwards. I want to go forward. I heard her annoyed sigh on the other end of the line. Then she said, "You just don't see the splendor of the crab. Haven't you ever heard of the tale of the crab and the monkey?" Of course I've heard of it. I know all about it. But so what? The crab eats the monkey, but it's just some legend. Hardly relevant to our greed-obsessed modern society. Sure, monkeys still show up in movies and stuff from time to time, but not crabs. Monkey-themed clothes are sweeping the fashion world, but the crab doesn't stand a chance, right? What I'm saying is, crabs have no place in today's light-speed world. Do your market research, lady. Which is why I chose the always popular bear image.
And that's the secret origin story of Monokuma. Good. Get
Blah, 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 blah. Shut up. I need to do something about Sakura. I better go to the dining hall and talk to the others about it one more time. Huh? Was that someone screaming? I think it came from the dining hall. Oh no. Oh, Makoto, we got a big problem, man. Well, what's wrong? Look. Hito's finger shook as he pointed. Oh, no. Okay.
Hina!
Oh, shit.
Are you okay? What happened?
She killed her. Genocide Jill killed Hina!
You've gotta be kidding!
No, she's not dead. Open your eyes. No way she's dead. Why? What happened? Well, Toko and Hina, just all of a sudden they were yelling and then they knocked the pepper off the table. And that led to a sneeze? Her giant balloons are a little too perfect, aren't they? I might be flat, but at least mine are real. And look at my shapely collarbone. Doesn't it just totally set you on fire? Anyway, you totally non-adorable boys just get her out of my sight, okay? Or else. I'll start cutting and cutting and cutting and indulging myself for who knows how long. Okay then, let's get Hina to the nurse's office. Come on, Hito, help me. A sure thing. Genocide Jack's abrasive laugh chased us out of the room as we carried Hina away. By the time I finished taking care of Hina's injury in the nurse's office, she seemed to have finally regained her composure.
Sorry.
Thank you. Are you sure you're feeling better? Yeah, it really was just a scratch. But still, that was super close. If I hadn't yelled out, you'd be dead right now. It's all thanks to me, you know. Yes, well, 1,000 thanks to you, sir. So sarcastic. That just makes you sound even more hostile. Hey, Hina, what the heck happened? Oh, we just got into a fight, and I lost my temper and flew off the handle. Let me guess, the fight was because of Sakura.
But...
At first, I tried to just ignore it. If you let jerk buttholes get to you all the time, you'll never have time left to live your life. But she wouldn't let it go, so I just...
What the heck?
Without thinking about it, I felt like I wanted to punch her like a dozen times.
You're serious?
A dozen times isn't really without thinking. And then when things got out of hand, Genocide Jack got let loose, right?
Sorry.
It's my own fault, but I just couldn't take it anymore. Because she was saying all these terrible things about my friend, you know? Before I knew it, Hina's eyes started welling up with tears. And just as the tears were on the brink of spilling over, the door to the nurse's office burst open. I thought the door was going to fly off its hinges. And there she stood before us.
Hina.
Sakura? You're hurt. What happened?
Huh?
Oh, nothing. It's not a big deal.
Hey!
Makoto, Hiro, what's the meaning of this? It wasn't me. It was Genocide Jill. It's all that demented murderous fiend's fault.
Damn.
To hurt Hina. Damn you. To leave me alone, but hurt her. What is this?
How dare you!
What is this? I'm okay, really. It's just a scratch.
No forgiveness!
Unforgivable.
I can't forgive this!
Hiro, if you want to hate someone, hate me. If you want to hurt someone, hurt me. I don't hate you exactly.
I can't forgive this!
Somebody save me! Hyodo and Harry tripped over himself as he ran screaming out of the nurse's office. But just a second later... What's going on?
Hey,
What's all this noise about? Kyoko stood in the doorway of the nurse's office, taking Hyodo's spot in the room.
It would seem...
I gather that something happened? Kyoko, please, you have to stop Sakura.
Wait.
You don't need to stop me. I'm okay. I'm not going to do anything. I'm drawing a line right here and now. Drawing a line?
Goodbye.
Wait, Sakura! Hina sprang into action, leaving the nurse's office to chase after Sakura. The only ones left were... Kyoko? Are you still mad? Yeah, I figured.
that's fine.
It's fine. Huh? About that issue we discussed earlier, it doesn't matter anymore. Then, do you forgive me for not being able to talk about it?
In other words...
You could have told me about Sakura and Monokuma fighting, but you stayed quiet. You were only thinking of Sakura, and that's why you didn't tell me, right? You didn't want to confuse everyone until you could talk to her and be sure of what you saw. That's what you were thinking, and that's why you didn't tell me, right? Yeah. To think like that.
I wouldn't have expected such arrogance from you.
What?
Because...
Ultimately, that means you don't trust me. No, that's not it. But if that's how you feel, I can't really change your mind. I'm sorry.
that's fine.
I've already forgotten about it. Besides,
And
I may have overreacted. Huh?
Anyway,
It's over and done with. Like I said, let's just forget about it. Okay, thank you. What is it you wanted to talk to me about?
indeed.
Actually, I'd like you to come somewhere with me. I have business there. Where?
So...
Just come with me and you'll find out. I guess, but...
shall we go?
Well then, shall we get going? With her typical indifference, Kyoko turned and walked away, setting a brisk pace. Ah, Kyoko! I hurried to catch up to her. She walked ahead in silence, and in silence I chased her, and eventually we arrived. The dressing room? So there's something else you mentioned?
Indeed.
That's right. It has to do with alter ego. But you said we didn't need alter ego anymore.
Wrong.
I didn't say we didn't need him. I just said he had done his job. Besides, it's not us that needs alter ego. He has business with us. Huh?
Right.
Alter ego asked me to bring others to come see him. Apparently he has something he wants to ask us. Alter ego wants to ask us something? Hello. Oh, it's just the two of you. Kyoko and Makoto? Kyoko's fingers glided across the keyboard. Is two not enough?
Thank you.
No, it's okay. Two should be plenty. But what is it he wants to ask us?
Indeed.
Let's find out, shall we? Kyoko typed in the question. What did you want to ask us? Oh, yeah, so I'd like you to take me somewhere where you can connect me to the school network.
What?
Kyoko and I quickly glanced at each other. She replied, Why?
You see,
Well, you said my job was done, right? But to just stop here, saying I've finished my work,
but
I don't want that.
I want to be able to help.
I want to keep being helpful to everyone. I want to work as hard as everyone else so that we can all get out of here.
That's right.
That's what Master would want too. So, to help everyone else, to solve the mystery of this school,
That's right.
the only way I can help you is if you connect me to the school's network. But if you did that, That's basically suicide. I'm positive the mastermind would find out about it. They'd find you and they'd... You agree, right, Kyoko?
So,
I realize how dangerous it could be, but still, I have to do this.
but
I'm scared, but I can handle it. I don't really understand why, but
still,
when I think about everyone else, my courage starts to grow. You might think I'm just some inhuman AI, but it's true. So, it's okay.
I'm gonna do
If it's
my
for
best.
the sake of everyone else, I won't be afraid. I couldn't help but get lost in that voice. It was just too committed, too admirable, too fragile.
Hey,
You remember what you asked before, Makoto? You asked what the difference is between a person and a program, right? Yeah.
certainly.
When I talk to Alter Ego, I don't know. I have no idea how to answer that question. I think maybe that's a question even the program's creator can answer. But I can say this.
Correct.
There's no question that Alter Ego is our friend. Kyoko. To be honest, I don't want Alter Ego to push himself anymore. Because if we take any more risks, the mastermind really will notice it. But
Makoto.
let's do it, Makoto. Let's connect Alter Ego to the network. But
Hey,
he's our friend, so I want to take his feelings into consideration. And he says that he wants to fight alongside his friends.
now.
If you were in his place, could you just sit by and do nothing in this situation? If you saw everyone else fighting and doing their best, could you just look the other way? Or would you stand up? Stand up tall next to everyone else and tell them you're their friend.
So,
Hey, are you guys fighting? If it's about me, please don't.
I want to believe in myself.
I want to be able to say, I know I can do this.
Leave it to me.
So please, let me try.
Listen.
And besides, there's no place where the mastermind might not notice. Wait, what did she say? One place.
That's right.
Remember, there's another place besides here where there's no surveillance camera. A room without the secret room. That's it, the secret room you told me about. I definitely remember there was no surveillance camera in there.
Indeed.
And I do believe you can connect to the network from there. I remember seeing an Ethernet port on the wall. However, just because there's no camera there doesn't mean there's no danger. There's no way to be sure the mastermind isn't monitoring the network somehow. We'll also have to move Alter Ego, and the mastermind may spot us going into the secret room. If they pick up on any of this, then it's all over. You're right.
That's what we have to
But
do.
despite all that, I still think we need to try.
Correct.
Because that's our best chance of finding any new clues. Kyoko. In that case, will you let me carry him? There's no way you could hide him from what you're wearing, right? So let me do it.
It's true.
Okay then, I'll leave it to you. Thank you.
So then,
Then, let's get started. It's gonna be a little cramped for you, Alter Ego. Bear with us, okay? We started packing him up right away. I closed the laptop and stuffed it underneath my jacket. It tickles. Shh, you can't talk right now. We're going to move you to another room. Until we get there, you have to be absolutely silent, okay? Understood. Your command has been implemented. Good. To have him react like a machine like that all of a sudden, I didn't know how to react.
Makoto.
In the secret room, there are a bunch of different cables in one of the desk drawers. So there might be a network cable in there.
However,
Assuming the mastermind hasn't taken it already. Well, all we can do is go and check for ourselves.
it's true.
Agreed. Let's head to the secret room. And where was that? Is it on this second floor? I don't remember.
Hey,
Hey, Makoto.
why?
Are you sure all the documents are gone? I refuse to believe you. Go and check again. What?
Listen to me.
Just hurry up and go. And to make sure you don't run off, I'm gonna wait right here. Oh, I get it. She's acting. She was so forceful, I thought I'd made her mad again somehow.
Just a second.
Why are you just standing there? Hurry up and go. Okay, I'm going.
So then,
And be thorough. I'm counting on you. Okay, first we have to find a network cable. According to Kyoko, there should be a bunch of cables in this drawer. Found it. This is a network cable, right? Now we just have to connect Alter Ego. I immediately got to work. I pulled out the laptop and connected it to the Ethernet port with the cable. And that should do it.
That's right.
Yeah, I think it worked.
Leave it to me.
Just leave the rest to me. I swear I'll find something. I might even be able to connect to the outside world. If I can, I'll see if I can call for help. So please just wait a little longer. Just hold tight and put your faith in me. As I was about to leave, I decided to leave with him with one last thing. No matter what, we're gonna get out of here. You and all the rest of us as friends. Friends? Even me?
Thank you.
Thank you, Makoto.
Makoto.
How'd it go? Well, it went okay. But all the, documents were gone, just like I told you. My reply was an unintentional mix of acting and real feelings.
Correct.
I see. Then there's nothing left for us here.
Goodbye.
Before I knew it, Kyoko was walking away. She wasn't acting anymore, that much was for sure. Kyoko.
What?
Yes? So we're just gonna split up?
Why is that?
Of course. I have no reason to stay with you at this point. Well, maybe, but isn't that a little too direct? Should I hesitate and fumble or something to say? You're so high maintenance. That's not what I meant. I just had more I wanted to talk to you about. Like, what are you going to do about Sakura?
It's true.
Well, something has to be done, it's true.
However,
But the way things are right now, there's no way to persuade anyone. They don't have the mind to listen. Then what should we...
so
If we can find some new clue, that would likely change the situation. That's all we can hope for right now. Which is why Alter Ego...
correct.
All we can do is wait and believe in our friends. You're right. That's our only option. We parted ways and I headed back to my room. I'm kind of tired, so I laid down in bed. Maybe it was because of the stress of moving Alter Ego, but I was way more tired than I realized. So before long at all, I had completely dozed off. Huh? The sharp sound of the doorbell pierced my sleepy haze and pulled me back to the real world.
Makoto.
Get out here. Kyoko? What's going on?
Indeed.
Hina just came to see me and she was white as a ghost. It sounds like something's happened. What? As soon as I heard those words, my heart started to beat a little faster. I suddenly found myself wide awake. She said for us to come to the rec room. The rec room? Okay, let's hurry. Makoto, Kyoko. Hina, what's wrong? Something's not right. In the rec room. What's inside? There was a window on the rec room door, and I hurried to look inside. And when I did... Sakura? Is she unconscious? She's sitting up in the chair like she's bowing her head.
Hey,
What's going on? Did something happen to her?
Huh?
I was just walking past and I happened to notice her through the window. But I couldn't get the door open. I tried knocking, but I tried calling her name, but she wouldn't respond. So, what should we do? What are we gonna do?
Anyway,
First of all, we need to get into that room. But the door's locked, right? And if we break in, we'll be violating school regulations.
listen to me.
We're going to force our way in. I just said,
Wrong.
the door isn't locked. It's not locked because the rec room doesn't have a lock. Huh? Then why?
It would seem...
It feels like the door is pressing up against something inside the room. Is it the chair? Chair?
In other words...
Either way, this door isn't locked, which means, as far as I can tell, the rule doesn't apply. Then there's no problem if we break in.
Indeed.
Let's smash the window. That should be the fastest way. Okay, I'll go get something to break it with. Wait right here. Inside the rec room, Sakura still hadn't moved an inch. She's just unconscious, right? Is she okay? I mean, it's Sakura, so I'm sure. Kyoko didn't reply. There was only silence, but that silence didn't last long. Here! I found a broom in the classroom. Use it.
Makoto.
You can handle this, right, Makoto? Please! Come on, please hurry! Okay, you two stand back. I took hold of the broom and swung as hard as I could. Aiming directly at the window, all it took was one solid hit. The window shattered into 100 pieces, shattering across the rec room floor. I stuck my hand through the now open window and started jostling the chair, leaning against the door. The chair's pretty heavy, but if I can just... I pushed on it with all my strength, and finally, the knob turned. Sakura! I ran up to her as fast as I could, but the moment I laid my hand on her... all I felt was cold death. I could feel only the last lingering warmth of a living body. Life had abandoned Sakura's body. And then... oh no.
A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
I think she killed herself. I think she drank poison.
Huh? Sakura's dead? She's really dead?
I heard Hina talking, but my eyes stared steadily forward. I could only look on at Sakura's dead body. We didn't make it in time. It happened again. Muttering to herself, Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered, was she confirming that Sakura really was dead? Checking for a pulse or a reaction? I have to go get them. I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room. And I? Why? Why did this have to happen? That's all I could say. I repeated it over and over again. I need to examine Sakura's body. I just stood there motionless behind her while she checked Sakura's corpse. Time passed. While I stood there, unable to do a thing, time just passed. And after I don't know how long, I got everyone.
What?
Ogre?
Yes.
Oh, so she's dead, huh?
I see.
Sakura's been killed. I see. As soon as they arrived, Kyoko began.
Just a second.
You heard the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means. Sakura was murdered, and by someone in this very room. Is that what you were going to say?
Huh?
No. Whoever killed her, it's not just someone in this room.
It's your fault!
It was one of you. Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, one of you killed Sakura.
What?
You're accusing us before we've even begun the investigation. I don't need to investigate anything. Because you hated her. You hated the sight of her. One of you did it. I know it. You know it? Oh.
Ba-bum, ba-bum.
Jeez, I didn't know your power level would increase by that much just by getting mad.
What the heck?
What are you doing here?
Come on.
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer. That's right.
File.
And don't get so mad, Miss Asahina, as you're gonna ruin that lewd little face of yours. Now then, with that, Hold on. There's something I want to ask you.
Huh?
It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura.
Say what?
Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you and her fought again, and
In other
then...
words,
Then I killed her. Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. That whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things with me. Which, thank God for that. It saved me the trouble of having to go through with our little fight. Because even for someone like me, it would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that.
hey,
I gotta tell you, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she'd violated a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her.
well,
So I don't know who it was, but whoever the blackened is this time, I owe you one.
What is this?
You owe them one? Oopsie. Before you get all pissy-potty at me, you better figure out who did it first. Because, I mean, your lives are all on the line, right?
What is this?
What the hell? He owes them one? I hate him. I hate this whole thing. Well, I, for one, am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind after all. How can you say that now? Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura.
Anyway,
Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead. Then let's decide who will stand guard this time. I'll do it. Hina? I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura.
That's fine.
Okay, then Hina is guard number 1, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you.
what?
Me? You're always a thorn in my side. This time just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order. An order?
That's fine.
Fine, I'll stay behind. Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Hold on. Before that, there's something I want to say.
What?
Which is... Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, none of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene.
Huh?
What?
It's your
One of you killed Sakura.
I won't forgive you.
I won't let someone like that come anywhere near her.
Stop talking.
Don't be stupid. Our lives are all in just as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her. Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here. Well, it appears further discussion would be a waste of time. How about a compromise?
It's all clear.
I won't ask you to let all of us in, just let me. What? You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway.
Yep.
Nope, don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway. And you, Hiro, do you really object? If you're gonna go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care?
It's all clear.
And it's decided.
What are you
Nothing's decided.
Calm down.
I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to his request. But
Hey,
we have to find out who killed Sakura.
correct.
For those of us still alive, and to honor Sakura's memory. Fine, I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her. Naturally, who would want to touch a filthy dead body?
Listen.
That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone keep this in mind. If we can't uncover Sakura's killer,
Listen to me.
all of us face execution. Finding out who killed Sakura. It's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's a kind of hopeless hope. We have no choice but to just do it. I'd better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There's evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood.
Hey,
I think the case this time might be a challenge. Why is that?
so...
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door has been jammed shut with a chair from inside the rec room. Which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So if the door was blocked from the inside and there was no way in or out till we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right?
In other words,
This is a classic locked room murder. Locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever. But could it really happen in real life? And right before our very eyes like this?
hey,
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind.
that's fine.
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits his crime, then through some special method seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string or simple mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for that, all we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
Correct.
I thought the blue text was him thinking. Why do they respond to him when he's just thinking? The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed. Oh?
In other words,
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through a gap in the door, something like that.
however,
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it. Yeah, I think we can probably cross that one off the list.
it's true.
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. What do you mean by that?
In other words,
They stay hidden, and when the door is opened, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that. That sounds like it could have been possible, maybe.
it's true.
And the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all. Not a locked
In
room.
other words,
By that I mean, there actually is an alternate escape route somewhere within the room. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality, it's generally not possible. Then you think we can cross that one off too?
indeed.
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics. So there are 4 possibilities. Then, Kyoko, which one of those 4 choices seems most likely in this case?
It's true.
That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up the locked room. Until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. This looks like some kind of wrapper.
Huh?
That's... Do you recognize it, Hina? Well, yeah. I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. So you gave that candy to Sakura? I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. You really like them that much?
'Cause, I mean...
But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now, they've lost all their flavor. Hina. Polka dot candy wrapper. There are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? So this must have originally been a bottle. Huh? There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle, there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is, how do they get those figures inside the bottles?
So...
It's no different from your standard ship in a bottle. Huh? You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside it? You've never seen that? Oh, yeah, maybe I have.
in other words...
So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things, little by little. The Monokuma bottle is sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass, which probably started out as a bottle. Which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with a Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass and the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. There's a blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally, I wouldn't have any problem believing that's what killed her. But according to the Monokuma file, she had also vomited blood. And I can see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So what would have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood. Not a chance. Byakuya?
That's fine.
However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location. Interesting?
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting. Don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to the way she died. To why she died. That same shelf full of magazines. There's all different kinds of magazines here. It's around 1 o'clock right now. According to the Monokuma file, Sakura died around 12 noon, so roughly an hour ago. Was that when Kyoko and I were moving Alter Ego?
What the heck?
We already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It had to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all 3 of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually, she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she'd left a note for each of them. She'd asked them to meet her here in the rec room by noon. By noon. The Monokuma file, she said she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I'd stop her, by force even, this never would have happened. Hina. It's impossible not to have regrets, I know. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying, it might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly. Oh, shit, I didn't see this. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room.
So...
It looks like a protein shake, and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
Wrong.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can... It's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me. Sakura mentioned how the Chem lab had all sorts of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the Chem lab.
Just a second.
But that's strange. Huh? What is?
Hey.
You see what's scattered around the can. Shards of light blue glass. They must be parts of the window I broke to get inside.
Correct.
But they aren't just scattered around the can. They're also underneath it. Why does that matter?
So...
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on. An important clue? I'm not sure how... I'm not sure I see how.
What?
What do you want? You're bothering me. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true. I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. Byakuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
Come on.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight. Okay, thanks. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked door from the inside, not from the outside.
However...
But for Sakura to have been killed... Yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
It's true.
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly.
Certainly they would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her. Huh? The locker's open, and they're on the inside. It's a handprint.
Why?
What's a handprint doing here? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker, and it left a handprint in all the dust.
It's true.
And it looks quite fresh, too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker, and they left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe the killer hid in here until the locked room was opened, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh? Why not?
Hey,
Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Oh yeah, and the locker was already open at that point.
indeed.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then, what does this handprint mean? Interesting.
Listen.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so, for the most part.
So then,
Then you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
listen to me.
Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place. She's decided. She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right. I do have to go talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say. Those other 2 people probably went back to their rooms. Oh, wrong person. I press the doorbell. And after a few seconds...
Who's there?
the most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
Well, what do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall.
What do you want?
You said you wanted to talk to me about something. I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you. What?
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about. Byakuya already told me she had asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master too? I just said 2, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So, can you tell me about it? I admit I did get the note, but I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claims she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. And now we got to go talk to this guy. Where is he? There he is. I pressed the doorbell. Ding dong. And after a few seconds...
You know?
What's up, Makoto? Do you need something? Yeah, actually, I just wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you.
What?
How did you know about that?
Could it be?
Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too. What? When did Sakura tell you that?
What?
Oh, well, when she asked me to meet with her, of course. But didn't she write you a note? Yeah, a note.
How about that?
She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others, like, in passing. I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So then you went and met with Sakura.
You got it all wrong.
No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious.
Actually,
The last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office.
don't look at me.
I haven't seen her since then. While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you? Do I still have it? Let's see. Hito was feeling around in his pockets.
Hey, come on.
Sorry, looks like I don't have it anymore. With a big goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets. When he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hito's pocket. Huh?
What?
Quick as the wind, Hito snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket.
Hey, come on.
Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out. Trash?
What?
Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre wanted to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you excuse me. Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hito said that was just trash, but there's no way that's all there was to it. Okay, so I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What next? I'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein can we found on the floor of the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. So where should I start? Chem lab. I don't know why I always walk to places.
What?
Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way. Yeah, I got it. I think what you meant to say was, yes, sir, I understand. This isn't my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more important right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I'd better not leave a footprint. These are footprints? And they're only in front of the left shelf. How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan. By we, do you mean me? How kind of you to offer. With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen.
What?
Well, let's go. Chop chop. Okay. So I got to work, and before long, I'd drawn up a sketch of the room. So how's this? Not bad. For you, I mean. For me?
I see.
So, when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me.
I see.
These footprints must be...
It's certainly
Makoto,
possible.
are they yours? No.
What?
Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself. I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said. I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints. Unfortunately. But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. Then these prints are a really valuable clue. What about you, Byakuya? There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? It looks like the bottle had a label on it, Kim C4. Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning, checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this. Then this powder must have been spilled.
So in other words...
That's right. It could have only been around the time of the incident. If that really is when it happened, it must be related to the case somehow. Yeah, we've been in here, dude. It wasn't like that earlier. I should probably take a good hard look at the powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor in front of the shelf. There's also the remains of a broken bottle. It looks like the bottle was labeled Kim C4. Also, it looks like someone left footprints in the powder. Based on the positioning of the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would have had to been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. Okay. Let's see, what's on the shelf? There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from the shelf. All of the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number, except for that C9 right there. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit section A. Huh? But wait. There's one bottle here that's labeled Kim C9. Could someone have put it here on accident? On the shelf is, when looking I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit section C. So on this shelf is, it looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are. They're reagents. Put simply, they're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss. Isn't that kind of harsh?
What?
What? Do you think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world?
That's fine.
The words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well. I didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number, so I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit section B. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. In which case, I don't think I have to worry too much about the shelf. I should try to find out more about this shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A has dietary supplements, Section B has reagents, and Section C has lethal chemicals. Section must have gotten to the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that in Section A, there was a bottle with the label from Section C. What was on the bottle of poison in Section D? There's definitely something going on here. What is with this recap? Did it recap in the other investigations? I don't remember that. I've already taken a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should take another look around the rec room. Bye, Byakuya.
Hey.
So, Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko what Toko and Hiro had told me.
I see.
So, along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. Someone's lying.
Anyway.
Well, I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. These 3 things have revealed new clues. You do well to look them over one more time. According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered from Sakura's body.
Just a second.
Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure anything out. Well, yeah, I know, but...
Hey.
Don't you think you might need to actually examine the body?
Whew.
There's no getting around it. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although there are still some times... I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
It's true.
That's totally normal. Then how can you...
So...
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. What? Sorry, never mind.
Hey,
More importantly, look here. Her shoes?
correct.
You see that yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, it really stands out.
I see.
That powder is clue number 1.
Hey,
Next is the wound to her head. Look carefully.
it's true.
Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot, so let me just explain.
It would seem...
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head. 2 blows?
Indeed.
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing.
Correct.
Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
It's true.
So, that's what I learned from examining her body in detail. I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko would have pulled that off. Did she say the... Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue. Huh? The magazine is upside down. Did someone put it back that way on accident?
Hey,
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This is... On one of the pages near the center of the magazine, a word had been written in bold, bloody letters, and it said, Toko. Could this be a dying message?
correct.
Then it would appear you found it. Kyoko, is this...
So...
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. A dying message.
However...
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it for the benefit of others who might come looking. Hey, is that... That says Toko, right? Yeah, it looks like it.
What the heck?
Then she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet. It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious. Something new, something new. Oh, what piece was it holding? So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all of the bottles. Pay attention. Pay careful attention and you'll find it. You're sure to find it. A correlation. Oh, 2 of the bottles are gone. The Queen and the Knight are gone. Hey, Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is?
So...
I don't mind guiding you toward clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusion so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome. And it's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer? I do trust you, to a degree. Otherwise, I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Okay, only to a degree. Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? An experiment?
Anyway...
Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle? Try to get the smaller pieces, too. Huh? Are you sure it's okay to mess with a crime scene like that?
That doesn't matter.
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya's not here, so...
So then...
Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass. With that, Kyoko left the room. I really don't know what this is about, but what choice do I have? I'd better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work collecting all of the broken bottle pieces. And just as I finished up, sorry to keep you waiting.
So then.
Is everything ready? Then let's get to work. So what kind of experiment are we doing?
In other words.
I got a scale from the chem lab. We're going to use it to compare weights. Compare the weights of what? The pieces of glass you collected and one of the Monokuma bottles that's still intact. Why do you want to do that? That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense when we're done.
Listen.
She wants to see if 2 bottles were used instead of 1. First, let's compare the weight of 2 of the normal Monokuma bottles. It's balanced.
In other words.
Which means each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same. Which makes sense. The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same, and nothing else could really affect the weight.
So then.
Now, here comes the important part. Put all of the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now, what might we expect to see? Well, the normal assumption would be either they'll balance out or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some here and there.
So then.
Okay, then let's give it a try. Huh? The broken pieces are heavier. How is that possible?
I knew it.
Just as I thought. What?
In other words.
The results of our experiment and the correlation between each of the bottles. Put it all together.
Hey.
And I believe you will arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So, what do you think? It's all on you.
Whoops! You caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring I couldn't stay awake. Should I do it? Is it okay? Can I? Okay, then let's begin the class trial. You know where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
It's already time, but the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will happen at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. And that's where we will leave this episode. I didn't expect for a death and an investigation to happen all in this episode. I thought maybe there would be a little more like story in between. You know, I just didn't expect, because like the last chapter was so chaotic and everyone was like super active, running back and forth. So it's kind of like I expected more out of this one, but it's just really straightforward. And I think with less people, you're gonna have less drama and stuff. So I wonder if everything's gonna be a little more straightforward going forward. Who do I think it is? I don't think it's Toko. I think if Toko were to have gone and killed anyone, it would have been Hina because she attacked Byakuya. And I don't think it's Byakuya. I don't know. Hiro's looking pretty suspicious. Or there's gonna be a plot twist and it was Hina. I don't know. They might throw a curveball at us. It could be Byakuya, but I don't know. He seems like, weirdly enough, he doesn't seem like a killer to me. I think that would mean, I think now he sees how well the trials are going, so there's more risk involved. And I think he gets more pleasure from the investigation point and from the investigation and stuff. And I think if he were to kill somebody, he would know that this like excitement he gets from these investigations might come to an end. So I think something would have to really drive Byakuya forward to murder somebody. So out of everyone, I'm leaning towards Hiro again. I think, you know, he probably, in his head, he's like, oh, well, I was innocent last time, so maybe, just maybe they won't think I, you know, am the culprit this time. And him having, like, the candy wrapper in his pocket and being really weird about the note and stuff is just, I don't know, there's something there. And with Toko, I still am leaning toward, I don't know about like normal Toko, but Genocide Jack, I don't know how willing she is to deviate from her pattern of like killing men, but I think if she were to kill anybody, it would probably be Byakuya. Even though she's obsessed with him, he is the only one that I think she would kill. I don't think she has a reason to kill Sakura, so I'm not sure. I never know where these trials are going to take us. I feel like I come up with 1,000,001 different ways the trials could go, and then there's like 1,000,002, like the 1,000,002nd way that is revealed that I didn't even consider pops up, and it's like, oh, okay, I don't feel smart anymore. But yeah. So we will have to find out who done it in the next episode. But with that, thank you so much for watching. This was Late Night Gaming. If you like this video and you want to see more, you can click that subscribe button. And while you're down there, you can press the like button and leave a comment. Tell me who you think it is, but only if you've never seen the series before. And that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.